So the question we have to ask ourselves, are big cats roaming the UK countryside? What a fine place. Burton Agnes Hall. Wonderful. And hopefully in the next 10-15 minutes I'll be meeting this witness who saw the two big beige cats, and we'll be able to see whereabouts she actually saw these large cats. It's amazing because there's a main road there. You can see the wagon. I'm with Emma today and she's just going to show me where she saw something really unusual back in, I think it was 2020, weren't it?
It was, yes.
And, well, we're walking towards it now, so I'll just leave it to you to explain to me.
I was leaving a Shetland pony.
Right.
And these two big cats were bigger than the Shetland pony.
Really?
Yeah.
Obviously at the shoulder.
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That bit in front of us, that grass bit there, was a paddock.
So that was a paddock.
And it was all fenced off.
Right.
And there was a gate. It's changed all now.
It's changed since 2020 then, hasn't it?
There was a gate waiting to this, they've changed it all because that was a paddock as well.
So that were an open paddock. It looks like there's a caravan. Were that on it back then?
No, that was just an open paddock. That belongs to this house here, front. But the farm next door used to rent it, this paddock and that paddock.
Yeah.
Now I was bringing the pony from that gate over there.
So I can just see that gate?
Just see that gate over there, bringing it down there, bringing it up here. And as you do, you're walking, just ordinary, just looking down, walking. Yeah. And then all of a sudden I looked up and I saw these two big cats and I thought, and they're in a dustbin. Big.
They were in a bin?
In the bin.
So there's a bin?
There was a bin there, there was a bin in here.
What's around here?
There was a dustbin in there.
Sound real?
It was between 6:30 and 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
It was in the morning. Now they're in the dustbin in there.
Oh, so there is something.
This is all changed. This has changed because this wasn't here before, this fencing.
This fencing round the bin store
wasn't there, no.
They were just bins.
There was two big biffer red bins there. Yeah. And they were in the bins.
And you're quite sure, Emma, that these were big cats?
These were big cats.
Yeah.
These were big cats because, like I said, I was coming down.
Oh, yeah.
There was a gate between halfway down near the house.
There's a big tree in there, there's a yew tree or something.
Yeah, there was a gate down there and there was a gate halfway between the fence.
Right.
Now I opened the gate and I thought, shit, there's two big cats there, what do I do? I thought, well, if I take the pony back, I did start going back. Take the pony back, I thought the owner's going to say, what you come back for? Yeah. So I thought, right, I'll just do it. Yeah. So anyway, I risked it, came halfway up here. Okay. And they were stood literally. So obviously you'll see better. They were in the bins to start off with, then they jumped out the bins. Yeah. Then there was a gate. It must have been that bit. Yeah, that's the gate. That's the gate there.
So all that had been fenced at the time.
They were stood there on the grass, and I was stood opposite them.
Right.
I had to put the pony in the field. Yeah. Shut the gate, and I thought I ain't going back that way, so I climbed over the fence at the other side.
So what kind of cats would you have thought they were?
I don't know. They were beige, like a sandy colour. Yeah. And there was two of them.
Lean, were they lean or?
Yeah. They were like a lioness type.
Yeah, puma type.
Yeah.
Cat, yeah. No, in 1994, there was a lady called Betty Chadwick and her husband. Yeah. They were the flower shows here.
Oh, right, yeah.
And they were early. And this is 1994, so we're going a lot of years, aren't we?
Yeah.
30 odd years ago, I think, if I do my math. And they parked in a field at Ruston Parva, side of a field. There was some cattle in the field. Yeah. And there were a beige calf.
Yes.
Stood up, and it was a big cat.
Yeah.
So it makes you wonder how long these things have been here.
That was all overgrown in there, so you couldn't see them. They went in there, but that was all fenced off. So they went in there when they went across the road.
For then, Emma?
Not long. I just saw them that end, and then I went back.
So when
I saw them go in there.
Bins, had they got their heads on bins? Or?
No, they're actually in the bins. The lids are off. The lids are open. They're actually in the bin. Like I said, I just couldn't believe what I was seeing.
So how long were you there afterwards then? Weeks, months, days, and you never saw them again?
I never saw them again. Didn't see him again.
No. Did it always worry you? Was it on your mind?
It was always on my mind.
Yeah.
Constantly on my mind. Am I going to see him again?
Yeah. And
but like I said, I thought if I'd say anything, nobody's going to believe me. No. The owner didn't believe me because she said of the pony, she said the owner of this house here has 2 big cats, but she meant 2 big normal domestic cats.
Yeah. Yeah. And what colour were they?
They were grey.
They were grey, but these were big.
These were big beige cats.
So there's obviously, because I mean, you've nothing to gain by telling me this, Emma.
No,
let's face it. So there's obviously a breeding pair of cats, or they were in 2020, and we're only 5 years down the line. There's a potential for them to still be alive, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing, really. And to think it's 100 yards from road.
Exactly. Where I was, how close I was stood to them.
Yeah, yeah.
They kept watching me. Yeah. One of them kept watching me.
What did
you think?
Did you worry about the pony?
I thought, well, is it going to attack the pony?
Yeah, yeah.
You don't know, do you?
No, absolutely.
Is it going to attack me? I just didn't know.
Did you look in papers to see if anybody had...
No, I didn't bother because I thought, well, nobody's going to believe me.
So,
like I said, I think it was summertime. I'm not completely sure because it was late.
Yeah.
6:30 it was late.
6:30 in the evening. So
no, morning.
Oh, morning.
Morning.
6:30 6:30 a.m.
6:30 a.m. to
yeah,
between 6:30 and 7.
And what we got now, we're in March, aren't we? March,
yeah.
Is it 11th or 10th? I'm not sure.
I think it's 11th, I think.
11th, and it's not that light in the morning at the moment.
No.
So you're a couple of months into it, aren't you?
Yeah, it must have been.
Yeah. Well.
Must have been.
I don't know what to say apart from thank you.
That's all right.
And,
I thought I'd share it with you and see see if anybody else comes back with anything.
Be interested. I mean, you're always going to get people who are sceptical and say, well, there's no big cats in the UK. But I look at it like this. It's like I saw one myself on Bempton Lane as we were driving home. So they're as good as calling you a liar.
Yeah.
Because you know what you've
That's
seen.
why I didn't dare. I thought, I'm going to say anything because nobody will believe me.
Yeah, yeah. But actually in bins, that's an interesting one though, isn't it?
But like I said, it was lockdown.
Yeah. I know you've already told me the big beige cats, but what about the tails? Did you get to see the tails?
I didn't look that much detail into them.
No?
No, I didn't see the tails or the ears. I wasn't sure if the ears were pointy or not. I don't know.
Okay. I think we've got all we need to get from that, Emma, haven't we?
Yep.
And thank you. Just describe to me then, before we sort of shut this down, what build are these things? Were they built like a Labrador dog?
I would say more like a cheetah. But not as thin as a cheetah, maybe a little bit fatter than a cheetah.
A little bit fatter than a cheetah, and beige.
And they were beige, and I like a square muzzle, like nose, like a...
So not a protruding muzzle like a lioness?
No.
Oh, a bit more.
A bit more square and, yeah. More like, I was thinking a bit like a puma type, yeah. Because I thought they were lynx to start off with, but they weren't.
Because they have tufts on their ears.
Yeah.
I think we've got all we need to get from that, Emma, haven't we?
Yep.
And thank you. Well, I've just spoken to Emma, who's told me about the big cat at Burton Agnes Hall. And before I head back, I'm just going to go up this single track road, if I don't damage car. And as you can see, we're on the Wolds now. We're only a step away from the main road to being on the Yorkshire Wolds, but there's woodland here, look. You know, and these remote areas rarely get any footfall. Looks like a gas treatment plant there, but just there, if I tilt the camera, there's little pockets of woodland all over the place that are interesting, and I might just have a walk and a look at that now, just a little walk down to it before I set off back. Okay, and I'll catch you guys in a bit. Leave that filming. So I've just stopped at this little bit of woodland in the car, got the other camera out, and I'm just having a look now, and literally, let me just shut the car door, lock it. The first thing I've seen when I've stopped at this woodland are these bones, and there's a deer carcass here. There's the hind leg. It's been here a long time, obviously, but there's the skull and the antlers. Possible it's been hit by a vehicle, who can say? But when we've just been talking to this lady and listening to what she had to say about the big cats, you know, it just makes you wonder. It even looks like there's earthworks. There's a rabbit there running off, but look at this bit of fly tipping. dirty swines. This hollowed out area, we'll just have a look. We're not going to venture too deep into it because I've literally just come to speak to this lady who's shared her big cat experience, and once again I really appreciate it. But wow, little bit of woodland that I would imagine doesn't get a lot of footfall. I'll just have a little bit of a wander, but not far, because I feel guilty. I should have fetched the bobster, and I've not got the microphones on. Well, I've just found those bones, so I'm just here just in case there's anything else. Lovely bit of woodland, part of a water tank there that's been cut, and it almost looks like a shelter. But I just want to go to this brow and just have a look down. So in 2020, during COVID lockdown, this lady, whilst leading a Shetland pony through the grounds near Burton Agnes Hall, saw 2 big cats. That's quite incredible. I should imagine in the summer this gets quite dense, you know, but I'm just looking to see if there's any evidence of people. Apart from that bit of fly tipping, there's nothing. So we've got this big hollowed out area. But we'll head back. Ironic that the first thing I saw when I parked up was a deer carcass, which probably would be the staple diet of a big cat. But it's at the side of the road, so I think we have to consider that it's probably been knocked down. There's a shelter here, I believe. Is that a shelter? Let's just go down here. It looks like it could be. No, it looks a bit too green. Let's have a look. No. So, interesting. And no more animal carcasses, but nonetheless interesting. Oh gosh. Okay guys, apart from the deer, there's nothing to see. I'll turn my car around and head back, I think, to Bridlington. But what you're looking at there are the East Yorkshire Wolds. I just travel for miles and miles of open countryside with little pockets of woodland. I mean, we're quite near to the main road here, half a mile away, but there's hundreds of pockets of woodland like this that are nowhere near the main road. And this lady's quite adamant about what she saw back in 2020. So the question we have to ask ourselves, are big cats roaming the UK countryside? And I think the overwhelming answer is yes, they are. So guys, for Truth Proof, I hope you're enjoying these short walks and talks. If you are, press the like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.